technology aspects related to all this evolving roles in hospital and healthcare management area. And also, I would like to talk about the contribution of technology towards affordable healthcare. With this background, is my slides visible? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am. It is
yes,
good.
I would like to talk about digital transformation in Indian healthcare system. So this particular topic is very close and dear to my heart. And I will also want to say that technology today is the trend, and also it is going to give us a lot of changes in the future. With this, I would like to say technology is a massive and welcoming changes to the hospital and healthcare industries. Patients now have the access to some of the best of the diagnostics and also cutting edge technologies and for the treatment, and it is a myriad and a minimally invasive procedures resulting in less painful and quicker healing areas. With this, I would like to see a small introduction. Digital health information requires a focused management and also the governance to address the challenges and the risk of data quality, integrity, data integration, confidentiality, security in place, and also in the management perspective. Information governance requires the principles and policies related to handling this data, and also it approves procedures, technology, how the organization is exercising in the stewardship responsibility. Now, I would like to give a small ideas on related to how this in India there is a generation of cautious momentum, and this incubation period, along with the stakeholders, patient, and accelerated pace, has due to the system level challenges in the post-pandemic era. The intent behind my talk is I would like to highlight few things. Is the weakest area in healthcare is being the quality of data. When I say this, whether it is paper-based or digital world, given that the poor healthcare providers, the patient and the doctor's ratio, we need to understand. In Indian setup, the average doctor in India sees around 50 patients per day. And it is in fact the turnover of the patient. We should not be arguing on the data quality documentation and recording. And going further digital, these issues are being amplified, and unless we need to understand some mechanism of governance and to put in place in a pragmatic and via media area, we need to improve the data quality, and also we need to understand the patient care area should not be hindered, and the turnover has to be taken into consideration. Hence, information governance and data governance is the key for improving the situation and also digitization of the process in healthcare in India. Now, coming to, I would like to give a small input about health informatics. How does digital technology may influence the health ecosystem? The evolution of health information system, including the EMR, that is the electronic medical record, and the process of approach to any healthcare, how is this digital platform going to help us? So information governance can define as a specific area where we can understand that we have the rights and the accountability framework to ensure the methodology of valuation, creation, storage, use, archiving, and also deletion of information. With this, I would like to come to the specific content of today's topic is this top 10 healthcare innovations. Now, we all understand that when I say top 10, there are other 20 which I can list out. In the end, I would be saying that artificial intelligence and machine learning, we would like to discuss a small bits and bits about it and then proceed further. The ability of the computer to think like and complete the task currently performing by humans in a greater speed, accuracy, and also in the lower resource utilization, artificial intelligence has been a boon. Now, I would like to also say AI includes a broader range of technologies associated with recommendations related to natural language encompassing, like just like a video activated assistance like an Alexa or a Google Assistant. We are able to use this in healthcare. Artificial intelligence and machine learning have been used as a use case scenarios, especially in image analysis in the radiology area. We also have a typical in the cardiology and also identifying the abnormalities of human body, these areas have been very much useful. And we know very well doctors are humans, and we can review and refine the data and understand how physicians can avoid their burnouts, and also without compromising on the accuracy and also on the review of the process. Now, I would like to speak about a few things related to machine learning. When I say machine learning, it is a subset of artificial intelligence, and it encompasses algorithms that can be drawn out, and new inferences of data can be uh, uh, taken into consideration as human initiated reprogramming and supervision. So by using machine learning, we can understand pattern recognition, neural networks, and also about related to automation. Algorithms have been used in healthcare from way back, from many years. So using machine learning, we can do data mining, and also we can do problem solving, and predictive and precision analysis can be brought about. Now, coming to the third point is the point of care testing. Now, we need to understand allowing for the convenient, timely testing for the patients. And it might be in the physician's office area, or in the ambulance home, or in the hospital. So it results in cohesive patient care concept. Now, when I say point of care testing, when the patient requires the test to be done, we need to understand that the lab work is always having a multiple areas, and a separate facilities are being required. So bringing the test closer to the patients, and the patient currently where it is, whether it is in the doctor's office or whether they are in the hospital bed or in the ambulance, we need to see that point of care testing leverages the technology such as biosensors or even the lab on chip, and these integrates the laboratory functions in a single compact circuit, and this will help in screening and also make the work more easier, and the treatment conditions can be brought about. Now, when I'm talking about point of care testing, I would like to say what is the market expected growth. On today's trend, we need to understand that in 2021 itself, the size of the market was 37 billion, and it is more cost effective. So point of care testing is an important and bringing reliable test results, and we are going beyond boundaries and traditional medical settings, and this is supposed to reach much higher areas in the market trend. Now, about virtual reality, simulated environment that could accelerate the behavioral change in patient is a way that is safer, more convenient, and also more accessible. Now, virtual reality devices and apps have helped to ease the symptoms of depression, anxiety in the older people, and also in the post-operative recovery process also. These augmented reality now, it has helped the surgeons and their teams to perform complex surgeries. Virtual augmented reality devices help to improve the health and also the fitness outcome of the patients. With the availability of the particular areas, now robotic knee surgeries, replacements have been done, gene therapy, and also cancer care treatments have been made to be present. And this is very evident in the role of technology, which has bound exponentially in over the time to come. Now, with all this said and done, we need to understand that we have the technology in place and how best we can use these technology to improve the fitness and health among the patient. And it is growing and exponentially as and when it is required. Now, coming to the biosensors or the trackers, technology enabled activities like monitors and sensors incorporated into the clothing and the accessories and devices are very common, and it is helpful for the consumers and also the clinicians to take care of the health and the well-being of the people. Now, 3D printing as devices, these are very lower cost, and it is customized into the medical technology, and it can be tailored and suit the physician's need and the individual patient care areas also. Now, let me give you all a small input about 3D printing. When it started at 2010, 3D printing was the most taught technology. And with the help of technology encompassing the emergencies and the intervention, it is just like a printing press. And 3D printing allows the physicians to understand how best it can be physical objects can be performed and produce specialized hardware following instructions and set out in a computer-aided design document. The process is usually conducted in layers and the final products can be assembled. So multiple healthcare products as 3D printing can be used, and it is being very much used in the personalized processes area and also in case of implants. And 3D printing is one of the most designed specific areas where we can produce an alternative mass production equipment can also be brought about. Now, when I say Internet of Things, another major trend in consumer is Internet of Things and the business technology. We need to understand IoT encompasses the numerous internet connected devices outside the traditional form factors. So it might be related that we use these factors like a PC or a phone or a tablet. We can connect these areas and we can utilize this IoT devices. Now, IoT is being estimated that right now, when we say in 2025, this is the data which I can say that there are around 21.5 billion pieces of IoT hardwares when we compare with the only 12 billion non-IoT and counterparts. So this market is huge, and this is going to develop much more. And patients get assistance right from their blood glucose monitoring or even new IoT devices. You can utilize and use it, either it is for a diabetes or monitoring of the remote monitoring of the patients or even in the telemedicine setups. Let us understand. My slide is yeah. Uh, about the wearable and also about the ingestible sensors. Devices like Apple Watch or a Fitbit, which is greatly used, and it is been tracking our physical activities along with the vital signs like a pulse, BP, or temperature. These apps monitor the data about the cognitive healthcare, and also it underscores some of the possibilities of wearable technologies. Now, when I say this, I would like to say the apps that monitor data make us more healthy and it makes us more conscious about our well-being. And these wearable devices can be used on our body, and this turn, we can also connect it to our smartphones, and this could improve the medication adherence to the individual, and it also been very cost effective and low. Now I say about ingestible sensors. When I talk about these ingestible sensors, it is that these ingestible sensors can be used, and they can be used for monitoring of our health, like a pill. Just you use a pill, you swallow it, and these pill can also give us information that is being recorded as wearables on the body and smartphones, and this can improve our medication adherence, which is still very low in any part of the world. For the drug adherence and drug monitoring, this can be utilized. Now, digitization of health records. Gone are those days when we had dusty, bulky paper files, which are being, slowly streamlined to digital records. And nowadays, we need to understand that streamlining of digital records has been very massive, and we can upload these digitized records, and you can access it any part of the world. So it is beneficial to the patient. Along with that, it is also beneficial to the healthcare professionals also. So by this, we can understand storing, management, tracking, and also we can use these data, and it has become very easy. Support of clinical decision support system to the professionals have made it much more better, and making it information becomes very usable. So now the patient owns the data, so it is very much easy to make medical decisions much better, and we can be well informed. Now, efficacy and delivery of healthcare. Once you know the entire medical record is digitized, the efficiency becomes much more easier, and these digitization helps us to develop a potential, and also the process becomes very much easy, whether you're doing an audit or whether you're improving the outcomes or you're reducing the errors. So this efficiency part can be delivered in the healthcare setups. Now, let us talk about mobile app and technology in the medical field. This is going to be the boon for the next 10 years. Not only do the patient have the access and a quicker accuracy in the information in the handheld devices, but it is also that we can keep track of the doctor's appointment, get reminders for paying the bills or paying for the schedule, or even reminders for the medication. So health and fitness have been very much helpful to the people to get healthier in tracking their intakes, whether it is food, whether it is activity based, what they're trying to do, or also you can track and offer customized solutions. These apps also have helped physicians to reduce their high stress jobs, and also in reducing the time spent in filling out the forms, record maintenance, and then the routine mundane work which is being reduced. So mobile apps provide access to drug information, whether it is drug delivery, allergy, and also helps us to prevent drug interactions and the effects. It can help us in solving the problems and also improve the diagnosis. Doctors can directly communicate directly with the patient, record their vitals and in accuracy, maintain logs and visit and consultation, and achieve greater procedural efficacy. So mobile apps are the biggest boon for the next coming few more years. Now, electronic medical records. When I say this EHR and EMR, they are totally different. It needs to understand that we summarize the patient records, and we try to see that the digitized summary of the patient records is included in the diagnosis, the lab reports, and also details of the patient's stay, whether it is a surgical intervention or it is just a simple prescription. When we overview the patient's health, we are permitting these things so that we have accurate diagnosis and also improve the patient care areas. These are very much in a need with technology is considered. Now, let us talk about big data and cloud. Big data is a buzzword in different setups in different industries, including healthcare. But I would like to say, because of the greater generation and collection of huge amount of data from number of different sources in healthcare field, now it is possible to use big data. This data is used for analysis, making market predictions, and also possible epidemics, and ultimately preventing deaths. That is the most important thing, that big data analysis is being utilized. Now, where are we doing? Is the digital healthcare revolution coming? Now, let us tell ourselves, are we in the highly personalized medication areas? Because each individual is a different, and we would like to say our images or our data as patient pulse, PP temperature, or oxygen saturation rate. So each one has got their own. So we are in the process of personalized or customized medications. We also need to empower the patients, because each patient needs a human touch, and also they need to understand how these health is being monitored by using these devices. The third thing is improve the patient care. How are we caring the patient by using these potential tools, and doctors can quickly identify their problems and also the medication errors. So by using barcodes or scanners, patient safety can be improvised. So that is how we are trying to improve the patient's care area. Now, about the radio frequency identification, enhancing the patient information by radio frequency or RFID, we are able to see that information as signs. We can even record the temperature and facilitate real-time tracking of the location of the patient, communicating to them, and also identification. So this radio frequency collar or even a badge will really help a lot of things, whether it is in mental health care or even related to surgical areas. We use this in a very often time. Now, technology is very much an important, whether you're using a 3D printing or thing, integration of these technology by using processes or customized devices. We can use it even for a dental processes, or even for a hearing aid. 3D printing is nowadays very much commonly used. Now, information, communication, and technology, when we integrate all these, We are trying to identify the risk, prevent the treatment mishaps, and technology can improve and boost couple of areas. I'm also referring to medical tourism, where patient sits at one point and then takes a consultation in a different area, whether it is remote area or it might be a second opinion which is considered, and the patient can take the information in different location. Following remote concentration and also video consultation, patient can travel to any part of the other country and receive highly advanced surgeries. So this is all doable because of the technology-driven aspects. Now, let me come to the favorite area of mine, that is the telemedicine and the telehealth. Telehealth is more a convenient way how the consumers access and also increase their self-care while potentially reducing the office visit. And also we want to reduce the travel time, so we want to prevent complications and emergency room visits or getting exposed to infection. So telehealth or telemedicine is taking the digitization of healthcare area into a bigger leap. With this, the logic behind what I'm trying to tell is letting the patient consult at their own convenience to the specialized person whom they prefer anywhere in the world. So the technology can apply to the healthcare system, and we can overcome the distance barrier. As I said, distance does not matter, and we need to overcome these barriers by facilitating critical care. And also in emergency situation, telehealth and telemedicine can be a boon, and potentially it can save lives. Now, telemedicine has been a possibility of the patient where they take their care to the home. So they receive home care, and also various video telephonic consultation can be done. Why only consult when you are there with the patient? We can also do store and forward and transmit the medical images or the data, and the doctor can consult at his own free time. This is asynchronized mode of consultation, which is very much doable in the present setup. Now, these advances in technology tends to focus heavily on patient empowerment. Introduction of all this wearable biometrics on providing the patient with the information. We need to understand the patient owns their data, and also they take the ownership of their health. So these telemedicine apps allow the patient for easily access no matter where they live. When new technology focuses on monitoring, research, and also healthcare availability, patient will be able to be more active role, and they take the ownership on themselves. So next generation, it's always important that they take care of the health and they are being liable for their areas. Now, coming to the list in future, what are all the going to be the developments? I've just listed, I'm not going to speak about this, from robotics to artificial intelligence or real-time computing or testing, and also about the nanotechnology. We can, talk about all this, whether it is, CAD or digital communication. We need to understand real-time learning and mutually understanding these areas are coming up. Now, one more area is do no harm or fault detection or fault analysis and diagnosis. This is really coming up, and to reduce the patient risk and patient monitoring areas. Coming to the application aspects of results. Now, we know the world is embarking with the ambitious program of setting up nationwide digital health platform. And this is a highway to facilitate deployment of effective digital health across country. And also it helps in seeing that the national health digital health mission, whether it is being used by the students or in the faculty, everybody can use it. It is important to understand that there are challenges in evaluating and hiring the right technological solutions. But in this aspect, we need to understand that information governance and digital governance are the core of success of any program. This is very much important when we have understand what is the intricacies we have to follow. In conclusion, I would like to address the information and digital governance, which is very crucial and a vital success to rule out the national level digital health platform that is undergoing. the discussion is very interactive when you really say that we need to debate about and also understand what is the present case scenarios or case studies or real life examples. From policy to patient, everything in between in healthcare industry is constantly evolving. We know that we have aging population, technological advancements and illnesses trends are always been changing and impacting the healthcare. And we need to understand that technology development is better adopted in healthcare field in some parts of the world, whereas developed countries we are able to harness this technology to become more efficiently, and we need to improve patient care. However, we need to also understand these are only tools. Technology is taking a realization that where we need to see the vast untapped potential and make a change in the investment and streamline the process so that we have a lower cost, increase the efficiency, and most importantly, we need to improve the quality of care. Any questions? Thank you so much for this opportunity. I would stop sharing my slides.
Thank you, Dr. Rupashri. It's very comprehensive. It's very interesting. Digital health is something we all are excited about every time. So, any questions from the fellows, or we'll take the questions in the end? I guess we are running out of time.
Thank you so much.
Dr. KG Shruti, are you here?
2 minutes, ma'am. I'm just sharing my screen. 2 minutes, ma'am. Hello? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. 2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay. Meanwhile, if anybody have any questions, you can ask. Yes, please, Dr. Zuha. You can speak. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Okay. Dr. Rupshri, very well put together presentation. My question is, what are some of the barriers and challenges that you see in the benefits of this digital health reaching the common man at the really grassroots level? And what is the possibility of overcoming it? I mean, how much time do we require, and what are some of the gaps which you foresee or policy implications? You can shed some light upon.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for this wonderful question. First of all, I would like to answer this in two parts. Your first question says, what is the challenges and what is the barriers? See, we are trying to treat patients who has got a disease or a deformity and the cure component. Second thing is the empathy part of it, which we need to understand. Now, how many of them are ready to share the data? Here is where sharing of the data and also the laboratory results and these data mining aspects, how we can analyze, interpret, and validate and verify and put these things into place. This is where is the area which is needs to be understood. Now, there is a lot of resistance from the people related to drugs and medication when you understand that there are multiple patients and drug interactions or drug treatment possibility. The scientists located in a different way, whereas the investigations needs to also come and we need to interpret all these. So these values needs to be really aligned, and this purchase related information, whether what is the patient really buying as drugs or medication or the prescription part, these needs to evaluate it and see it in the end user's perspective. Now, I also want to understand stakeholders perspective. How much are we able to fund and see that these diseases or lifestyle and disorders can be minimized? We cannot approve them in this digital era. We need to understand we have evidence-based medicine and also evidence-based medicine, and quality of care, how best we can see that all these sync and match. So the end user's perspective and also the stakeholders perspective, we need to sync and match, and then only able to bring about this digitalization and spotting the factors related to what the patient really wants. That we need to see. Second thing is health insurance fraud and areas. These digitization are really helping us, and we are trying to bring about a much better interventions. But there is still a lot of work to be done. That's what I would like to say to the first part of your question. The second part of the question, what you said is, I would like to answer it all depends upon healthcare resources and facility. That is what is required, and how do we really go about with the predictive analysis and precision analysis. That matter most for the future healthcare. We need to focus on education on the business, and also we need to understand large scale analysis has to be done. Then only digitization can work out.
Thank
I
you so
hope
much,
I've
Dr.
answered your question.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for helping me develop insight into this subject as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I would like to call Dr. KG Shruti. You
Yes,
can
ma'am.
please share your slide.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yes. Good evening to one and all present here. My topic is about normal weight obesity. It is an unnoticed problem in individuals of South Asian descent. Obesity is one of the most predominant and alarming public health problems that exist throughout the world. So, obesity is defined as body mass index of more than 25 kilograms per meter square. This disease is a risk factor to more conditions, mainly the cardiometabolic disorders, which causes death worldwide. The prevalence of obesity, as we all know, is being increased worldwide, and now it has been called like triple nutrition, where we have hidden hunger, malnutrition, and obesity being the third one. And cardiometabolic diseases are the most common among the obese individual, but it has been increased even over non-obese individuals. So I will be talking about how it is increased among non-obese individuals. So BMI is considered as an most important assessment tool, but it cannot assess the body composition and body fat percentage of an individual. So what is normal weight obesity? The normal weight obesity is defined as those individuals whose body mass index is less than 25 kilogram per meter square, but they have a high body fat percentage. So there are body fat percentage of 25 more than 25% in men and more than 30% in women are considered obese according to Endocrine Society of India. Normal weight obesity is also fairly associated with risk of getting metabolic syndrome. Normal weight obesity is different cutoffs for in the world. So normal weight obesity is defined by American Society of Endocrinologists as 35% of body fat, more than 35% in women and more than 25% in men. Individuals of Asia-Pacific descent have lower cutoffs, that is 30% in women and 25% in men. So the assessment of we will discuss about assessment of obesity in adults. First is body mass index. The body mass index is a metric that is used to assess the anthropometric height and weight characteristics in adults, facilitating their categorization into different groups. It is widely regarded as an indicator of an individual's level of body fat. So it is basically calculated by the person's weight in kilograms by the square of their height in meters. So the classification of body mass index, the left side is the WHO's classification of body mass index, and the right side is Asia specific classification of body mass index. So in WHO's classification of body mass index, the normal weight is between BMI of 18.5 and 24.9. But in Asia Pacific classification, which is also given by WHO, the normal weight is only characterized as 18.5 to 22.9. So the other measurements is waist circumference. It is a measure of central or abdominal obesity. It also can be used to diagnose obesity. So as stated by WHO, waist circumference of more than 94 centimeter in men and 80 centimeter in women is also recognized as associated with risk of metabolic complications. This risk is increasing significantly. The Asian cutoffs are lower, like males have more than 90 centimeters and females more than 80 centimeters. Hip circumference, it is measured at the level of widest circumference over the greater trochanters. This is done using flexible, non-stretchable tape. For measuring this circumference, the subject must be made to be stand in the stand position and then at the end of a gentle expiration. So next comes waist hip ratio. Waist hip ratio is obtained by waist circumference divided by the hip circumference. The units for both of them are same. The waist hip ratio is a straightforward indicator of central obesity. The WHO classifies abdominal obesity in men has waist hip ratio of at least 0.90. For women, 0.85 or higher means that they are at a risk of health complications. So coming to body fat percentage, body fat generally considers of adipose tissue, a complex connective tissue with specific roles of metabolism and endocrine function. So while the term adipose tissue and body fat are used very often interchangeably, body fat is more frequently used with the context of body composition, while adipose tissue is more commonly employed for physical aspects of fat. Body fat percentage may be used with variety of technologies, including bioelectric impedance and dual energy X-ray absorptiometry, which is DEXA. The Indian cutoffs for these obesity indicators in a summary is for waist circumference, it's for Indian cutoff male is greater than 90 centimeter. Indian cutoff female is more than 80 centimeter. Waist hip ratio more than 0.9 in males, more than 0.85 in females. For body fat percentage, greater than 25% in males and greater than 30% in females. For body mass index, greater than 23 kg per meter square is for overweight and greater than 25 kg per meter square is for obesity. Methods to measure body fat. One is DEXA. DEXA is mainly established valuable tool which has been approved by Food and Drug Administration in 1988. This DEXA basically measures bone density and direct dissection and quantitative ultrasonography, and later comes CT and MRI imaging. So this is how the DEXA machine basically looks. In that black color space, the patient will be made to lie down, and there will be one strip that will be placed on the top of the black color tube where they'll take the whole reading for the patient. Coming to bioelectric impedance analysis, a widely used technique in body composition analysis and healthcare evaluation systems is bioimpedance analysis. For most of the field studies for body fat percentage, bioelectric impedance analysis is the most valuable tool that is implemented. The information that is acquired will be used with in respect to foundations of bioimpedance measurement in the human body. As a result of its widespread application, there is a lot of use in medical field for this. So Anita BC 545N is a body composition scale that implements bioelectric impedance analysis to measure body fat. So it will evaluate body fat and muscle mass percentages in 5 body parts: the arms, the left and the right, the legs, the left and the right, and abdomen. These are the main, but along with it, it will give you 15 readings, that is segmental measurement, weight, auto recognition, weight graduation, the metabolic age of the patient, the basal metabolic rate, the total body water, the total body fat, and the physic rating, the bone mass, the muscle mass, the BMI, and the visceral fat. So this is the machine, as you all can see. So you should make the patient stand on that machine on an empty stomach after they pass their first urine in the morning, and they have to be there is no special precautions, but the patients who have like pacemaker and like any magnetic objects in their body, they should not stand on this machine because there's a weak current that will pass through this machine. The etiology and pathophysiology of normal weight obesity. For which whatever for obesity it exists, but for normal weight obesity is also almost the same, but the genetics also play an important part for normal weight obesity, and diet and physical activity. And moreover, we cannot diagnose the case of normal weight obesity because we usually think that their BMI is low, so what body fat they are going to have. So there is, but they have like pathophysiological changes for normal weight obesity is like for brain, there will be decline in cognitive function. In cardiovascular changes, like they will have vascular inflammation or asymptomatic left ventricular impairment or hypertension, and cancer or gut microbial dysbiosis, increased adiposity or less lower body fat or decreased HDL. All this might lead to increased risk for cardiovascular morbidity and mortality. As you can see in the diagram, the main reasons that contribute to this is genetic predisposition, maternal malnutrition, low birth weight, environmental factors, and fat hypothesis. Prevention of normal weight obesity. So timely identification coupled with target interventions involving significant lifestyle modifications, reducing body fat content, and following regular follow-up should be anticipated to reduce cardiovascular morbidity and mortality among high-risk individuals. However, there is a very less literature that shows most effective interventions for this metabolically distant individuals. The policy implications are like, there are some policy implications. The clinical and policy implications are challenging, and they are summarized in the giving existing literature. That is what I have told till now. And you can see in the photo, there are some reasons why there is less of policy made for this and why doctors don't know about this. So poor response to therapy. There is less research available on this topic, and high cardiometabolic and risk mortality. It is a different and obscure phenotype. So treatment for these conditions could be initiated based on a standard guidelines, but it is likely to be having a closely monitored approach and a long-term follow-up. Educating these patients about their cardiometabolic risk should be often about this phenotype should be often paramount importance. So these are some of the studies that have been done in national and international about the prevalence of normal weight obesity. So once that study is conducted by Dr. Nitin Kapoor in Kerala on Kerala Diabetes Prevention Program. So I have also done this prevalence of normal weight obesity as a part of my thesis and dissertation during my MPS. And my study, I have found the prevalence to be 19% in among women aged 18 to 45 years in urban areas of Vellore. So my study prevalence I have calculated from Dr. Nitin Kapoor's study that was conducted in Kerala in 2020, and their prevalence was found to be 32% because it was a diabetes risk population. But otherwise, well, you can see the prevalence in other countries are found to be not that much great. Only in West Indies, India, and most commonly it is mostly seen in South Asian countries than in countries that are already developed. Thank you.
Yeah, Shruti, I would like to ask something. Hello,
Hello.
Dr. Shruti, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. One second.
Okay. Okay, so my question is, I want to know specifically about that device that you showed DEXA. Um,
I'm not able to hear about DEXA. Okay.
yeah, what I know about DEXA is like I was not able to understand like how in obese patients it's used. While I think it's used for osteoporosis, probably
Yeah,
you
it
said
is.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it is used for osteoporosis, but even it measures. Yeah, it is. You are right. It is used for osteoporosis, but it even measures the body fat percentage. Like in the scan, I actually didn't put that picture up, but in the scan you will get different reports. In that body fat composition also, like body composition analyzer being the one of the reports. In that there are different modulations in it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yes. Okay. My second question, Dr. Shruti, is that like when we were discussing that normal weight obesity is very much common and there is poor awareness regarding it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to ask, can simply doing a routine exercise and including, cardio and strength training in their routines, rather than cardio, but strength training, will that increase the muscle mass and help people reduce their normal weight obesity? Because long time back, although I have a normal BMI, I was told by a nutritionist friend, she got me done this analysis of body fat percentage. So she said that you have a high body uh, uh, fat percentage. So what do you think about this?
So
Will
what I think is,
exercise? Yeah.
what she said is true. Like if you increase your muscle mass, there will be a difference definitely in your because when you do hit like what they call high intensity training. So if you do that training, so you will definitely be gaining some muscle mass. So definitely you will lose in some weight. So your body fat also reduces. But mostly you have to be like what I feel is you have to reduce the body fat like you, but you have to check in body fat. So that is why such machines are there in gyms and all. Even you can buy it in. For my study I have used Tanita BZ545N. So even you can buy such machines and you can do, like you can check it up. And there are some people who are working on normal weight obesity now, so they're trying to find a small machine like which will be like BMI, which will measure your body
Okay.
fat in a small way. So maybe in future your like we will get some machine. Maybe in 5 to 3 years or 5 years down the line, we will have a machine for analyzing body fat like a normal machine, like normal BMI.
So will exercising solve this issue? I will to put the question
Hello.
straight. Yeah, to put the question straight, will exercising solve my issue?
Yeah, your exercise will solve your problem, but you can't guarantee even exercise will solve BMI, right? So, but
But my
we can't
BMI
guarantee.
is normal. Actually, my BMI is normal, but my body fat percentage is high.
Yeah, physical activity will contribute to some 80%, but I can't say 100% because there will be genetics also a part of it, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, KG Shruti. If anybody has any other question to ask, please ask.
Yes, Dr. K. Shruti, right? So I want, I'm Dr. Rutul Goklani from Ahmedabad. I'm practicing diabetology
Okay.
mainly. So basically for obesity, what we are seeing that newer molecules are coming up in pipelines like semaglutide and tirzepatide. These all molecules are helping in diabetic patient, and even they are approved in non-diabetic patient with higher doses. So how do you see it in transformation in obesity management and all? So definitely lifestyle modification will remain the basic part, but for India, is it possible to accept all these molecules as they are quite expensive? And these molecules are available in their in western part of the world for free, or in normal that health insurance, it is covered up, but it is not the same scenario in India, and obesity is increasing in India. So how do you see it, these molecules, acceptance of these molecules?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with your point as a clinician, as a diabetologist. I definitely agree with your point. India is not like in that position. I completely agree. But there are some projects that are happening. There is some research that is happening, and I think that maybe some 4-5 years. That's what I even told Dr. Zuha. Like maybe some 4-5 years down the lane, we will also get some machine that is like close to us, like how we are measuring body, like we are measuring like BMI, we'll also be measuring body fat. So like what you said is I completely agree with it, because already India is facing double, like triple nutrition, they call it, like hidden hunger and malnutrition, as well as obesity. So along with that obesity, they are facing, like they are the leading capital for diabetes and hypertension. So I think that they should be concentrating on all the three aspects, but maybe it will take a little longer to accept the fact about body fat percentage.
Right. Thank you. And should I comment one thing more, if we have time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we are seeing that on one side we are talking about healthy lifestyle and lifestyle modification, exercise and healthy diet, and on other contrary part, if you see on social media, there is a flood of reels and everything about uh, that food bloggers and all, and they just keep showing that cheese and butter and mayonnaise, and it is increasing so much in nowadays. It is trending. So every other person is food blogger nowadays. So how do you see, and government should regulate it, that that our
So what
food is
happened, what
increasing
I
in
feel is
mayonnaise?
yeah, true. Because what I feel is after COVID, everybody got, like most of them got a perspective that even if we like, it's the common perspective that someone told me this, like whatever is there, there is a doctor or a human being, anybody, we can't say who is going to die tomorrow, who is going to live. So जितना दिन जी रहे हैं उतना दिन अच्छे से खाओ. That's what someone told me like this. So this I can't, I as a doctor I can't comment like that, but this is what most, like many people told me like this. Like जितना दिन जी रहे हैं उतना दिन तो अच्छा से खाना चाहिए ना. कब मरेंगे we don't know because of COVID. Even like 20-year-old people died because of COVID, and even elderly people died because of COVID. So as you said, it is true, but it's the same like alcohol and tobacco business. How much ever we promote tobacco and alcohol, since still government don't ban it, right? So I think like for food bloggers, for food bloggers, you should, like, we can tell them not to do, but it's against food, like even as a diabetologist, even as a doctor, even as a doctor, you me will some at some point in life we will also eat pizza or something at least one day sometime in life. Not in sometime in, like at least 3 or 4 months in months when we go to parties, we do eat pizza or something. So I think like eat. So we can't like actually tell them to stop it. They see it as a business. But we can definitely give health education to stop it. That's what I personally think as a public health professional.
But I guess government also should intervene, as the way that street food and pizza
Definitely,
and
they should
pasta
intervene
and
because they are
burger,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
There is so much use of mayonnaise, cheese, and butter everywhere, and I don't know whether they are right food, or even adulterated butter and cheese is commonly used nowadays.
Yeah, I would just like to jump
Yeah,
into this
that's
discussion.
very true. You are right.
Yeah, Dr. Shruti and Dr. Thakkar, I think it is freedom of speech that is probably versus the science and public health, because everybody has to run their businesses, and so because had government supposed to, they were in a position to put the curbs, or they I would definitely not use the word will to put the curbs, because tobacco industry should have been banned long ago, or maybe alcohol should have been cut long ago, but we see the disclaimer and still it is in the market. So probably the crux of the discussion will always remain what choices we make, where what is our health seeking behavior. Health education would be, I think, the needed solution for
The
this.
main thing is health education. That's what I will also say.
Yeah. Thank
Right,
you.
right, great. So today's talk was on technology and obesity, and then what we are showing that technology is causing many problems due and increasing obesity nowadays.
And
Sorry.
and and to add to it, like still we are using technology to discuss about it.
No, I would like to say technology is a boon and it always aids as a tool to improve the quality. It is not technology is hindering anything. So let me put it in this way. Always technology should be utilized for the betterment. And it, as said, choices what we make in food. I'm also a diabetologist. So let me put it this way. What we perceive as a requirement, we should adhere to it. And choices what we do in healthcare should be as much as, and we should have our mindset to develop resilience, what to say yes and what food to say no, or refusal. Right for refusal is there. Whether you eat a pizza or a burger, you have the right to say no. So that mindfulness we should be developing. So that is what each one should have: knowledge, attitude, and practice, and they should develop these as resilience. And finally, we need to understand how best we have to take care of our health. So that is how I put it. I always say technology is a boon and it aids to quality of care.
Yeah, true, very
Yes,
true.
absolutely.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Thank you.
Absolutely. I agree with you, ma'am.
Any more question? If any more question can be asked, or raise your hand. Or if there is no question, so we are about to end now. Okay, so I think there is no more question. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Rupashri, and thank you very much, Dr. Shruti. It was quite impressive and very helpful. And it was just not about the presentation, it was also about the interaction between among all the fellows, and this question and answer session was so interesting. Since we are streaming live on YouTube, I hope this is going to help our YouTube watchers. And for further presentation and for the slides, you can go and check out our FPHS page on YouTube, or you guys can share among each other if you guys want to do so. So I think we should leave now, or any further question? If there is any question, please do ask. Okay. Okay, fine. No more questions. So we are leaving now. So, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are about to end our meeting. Have a great evening. Thank you very much to our speakers. Okay. Now.